Welcome to YC English Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to YC English Podcast. I'm Yara, and as always, I'm here with my co-host Caleb.
Hey! So excited to be here. Today we're talking about something that's, like, the secret engine behind your learning.
Exactly. Have you ever sat down to study and just couldn't? Like, your brain said nope? That's what we're cracking open.
Yeah, it's all about your core motivation, the deep reason you're doing this. And honestly, it's a game changer once you find it.
We'll break it down with real-life scenes, useful vocab, and a few laughs. Stick around, let's dive in. Okay, Caleb, I gotta ask, what was your first spark? Like, the moment you knew you wanted to learn English?
Oh man, for me it was watching American movies without subtitles. I was like, I want to understand that. You know?
Right. For me, it was a job ad. I saw this amazing position, but it said fluent English required. Oof.
Ha! So it was kind of a have-to moment. But that's still a spark, it's fuel, right?
Totally. That initial push, we call that your why. And it doesn't have to be poetic. It just has to be real.
Yeah, exactly. My why was basically, I want to laugh at jokes in English without waiting for the translation.
That's actually a great one. So let's look at the word drive, like your inner push. What drives you?
I love that. Drive is that engine inside you. Mine was curiosity. What was yours?
Honestly? A little bit of fear, a little bit of excitement. Like, if I don't learn this, I'll miss out.
See, that's real. That's the kind of motivation that sticks. Not just I should learn, but I need to. For example, the first time I heard a native speaker, that was the spark for me. Think of a spark like the tiny flame that starts a campfire. It's that first little moment that gets everything going.
For example, her drive to connect with international friends keeps her studying every day. Your drive is like the engine in a car, it's what keeps you moving forward even when the road gets bumpy.
For example, positive feedback from my teacher is the fuel I need to keep improving. Fuel is what you feed your engine. It's the stuff that keeps your motivation burning, like compliments or small wins.
Okay, so, we've got our spark. But let's be real, motivation fades. What then?
Oh man, that's the million-dollar question. It's like, week 1 you're all in, week 3 you're not.
Yeah. That's when you gotta keep your eye on the prize. That's a phrase, right?
Totally. It means focus on the big goal, not the small daily struggles. Like, don't stare at the pothole, look at the destination.
I love that. So for me, the prize was being able to give a presentation in English without panicking.
And that's a solid prize. So when you felt like quitting, you'd picture yourself nailing that presentation.
Exactly. And honestly, it worked. But you also need to celebrate small wins, like understanding a song lyric.
For sure. Those little victories are like little candies along the way. They keep you going.
Okay, so, the word here is consistency. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up again and again.
Yeah. Consistency is like brushing your teeth, you don't see results overnight, but after a year, huge difference.
For example, even when grammar feels impossible, just keep your eye on the prize, speaking fluently. Imagine you're running a race. If you stare at your feet, you'll trip. Look at the finish line, that's the prize.
For example, consistency matters more than intensity. Study 10 minutes daily, not 3 hours once a week. Consistency is like watering a plant. A little every day makes it grow. Dump a bucket once a month? Not so much.
For example, every new word I learn is a small win that keeps me motivated. A small win is like finding $1 in your pocket. It's not much, but it feels good and keeps you going. Alright, let's talk about the ugly part, burnout. Ever felt like your brain just refused?
Oh yeah. I hit a wall about 6 months in. I couldn't remember basic words. It was so frustrating.
Right? That's burnout. It's like your brain is a phone battery at 1%, it just shuts down.
Exactly. And the worst part? You start doubting yourself. Maybe I'm just not good at languages.
But that's not true. Burnout just means you've been pushing too hard without a break.
Yeah. So the word burnout is important to know. It's when you're physically and mentally exhausted from overwork.
And how do you fix it? You recharge. That's another good word. Like, take a day off, watch a movie in English for fun.
Totally. I took a whole week off once, and when I came back, everything felt fresh again.
So burnout is real, but it's not the end. It's just a sign to slow down and reset.
Yeah. Think of it like a muscle. You can't lift weights 24/7. You gotta rest to grow. For example, after studying for 4 hours straight, I felt total burnout and couldn't focus anymore. Burnout is like running a car on empty. The tank is dry, and the engine starts sputtering. Time to refuel.
For example, I like to recharge by listening to English music instead of doing grammar drills. Recharging is like plugging in your phone overnight. You don't use it, you let it fill up so it works tomorrow.
For example, I hit a wall with phrasal verbs. They all seemed impossible to remember. A wall is that invisible barrier where you feel stuck. It's not the end, you just need a ladder or a detour.
Okay, so we've talked about drive and burnout. But there's a bigger question, who are you learning for?
Ooh, that's deep. Like, are you learning because you want to, or because your boss or parents expect it?
Exactly. That's the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Fancy words, but simple ideas.
Break it down for us, Yara. I'm curious.
Okay, so, intrinsic is when you learn because it's fun or interesting. Like, you genuinely enjoy it.
And extrinsic is when you learn for a reward or to avoid punishment, like a promotion or a test.
Bingo. Neither is bad, but intrinsic motivation tends to last longer. It's like eating because you're hungry versus eating because someone told you to.
Oh, that's a good metaphor. So if you're learning just to pass a test, you might stop after the test.
Right. But if you're learning because you love the language, you'll keep going forever.
So ask yourself, is this my passion or someone else's plan? That question can change everything.
For example, I have intrinsic motivation to learn English because I love watching British TV shows. Intrinsic motivation is like a kid playing video games for fun, no one pays them, they just enjoy it. Pure joy.
For example, my extrinsic motivation is getting a better job that requires English. Extrinsic motivation is like working a job for a paycheck, the reward is outside the activity itself.
For example, her passion for travel is what drives her to learn new languages quickly. Passion is like a fire inside you. It doesn't need fuel from outside, it burns on its own because you love it. Okay, we've covered a lot. Let's wrap it up by creating your core motivation, like a mission statement.
Yeah. Something you can say to yourself when things get tough. Like, I'm learning English because.
For me, it's I'm learning English to connect with people I'd never meet otherwise. That's my mission.
That's beautiful. Mine is I'm learning English to understand the world's stories in their original voice.
Oh, I love that. So the phrase core motivation is basically your deepest reason. The one that never changes.
Right. And it's personal. No one else's mission has to be yours. Find your own.
So here's a challenge for our listeners: write your core motivation down. Put it on your wall.
Yeah. And when you feel like quitting, read it out loud. It's like a GPS for your learning journey.
Awesome. So the key takeaway? Your why is your compass. It'll always point you home.
Love that. All right, let's recap the vocab from this episode and wrap up.
For example, my core motivation is to speak with my granddaughter in English. Your core motivation is the root of a tree. It's deep underground, hidden, but it holds everything up and feeds it.
For example, write a one-sentence mission statement for your English learning journey. A mission statement is like a personal slogan. It's short, powerful, and reminds you why you started.
For example, when I get lost in difficult lessons, my core motivation is my compass. A compass always points north. Your core motivation always points to your goal, even when you're lost in the woods. Thanks so much for watching today's episode.
Hit subscribe and we'll see you next time.